Yes, when you thought Fairy Tale couldn't get any more stranger, things really take a very strange turn. But surprisingly, it's actually better than last week, so not really complaining. It creates that situation though that makes me wonder what did happen, and what are we awaiting, or some sort. But as they said, this is technically residing in his mind, so it may not be what we'll presume it to be. As Happy gets tears of despair, wondering what happens to Natsu, Wraith prepares to eat Natsu's soul, and Natsu then awakens. It was seems to be a place with fluffy clouds that are very good. And then he meets a strange sight. It's none other than Sereth, as well as Mavis. Wonders, has he died? But then they both say that this is neither heaven nor hell. It is something close to death. So, what makes this even more nice is the fact that in this world, Mavis and Sereth actually has children, who are none other than Lacrade and Augusto. Remember, Lacrade always considered himself Sereth's son, and Augusto was her true son. In a way, this is a world where Mavis and Sereth are living happily, but at the same time, it's not exactly confirmed if this is truly them. Last time we saw them, they did enter the heaven, but at the same time, this is a world where they meet. As Sereth saying, this isn't the afterlife or the realm of the dead. This is your mental heaven, which creates really the big question if this truly is their real souls. But according to Sereth, this is the better heaven, which is the mental heaven that Natsu is apparently appearing. It's an image that heaven resides in your unconscious mind, and that's why it's a different better heaven to everyone. He doesn't know where the actual soul of Mavis are, but they are, or are they living in a better heaven like this, or are they truly gone? So that is the heaven they are living in. That what makes this a little bit strange. It's not 100% confirmed if this is what it is, but if the projection of Seraph is true, then this may not be their actual souls. This is just how Natsu wants to remember them. It does create the question though, why are Augusto and Lacrade there, especially since Natsu didn't even know about their existence. Well, I knew about Lacrade, but he didn't even know about Augusto's connection. But as this thought projection of Seraph says, it may just be a thought projection on how we wanted it to be. And indeed, in this heaven, there are many of the foes, including Igneal's projection, the deceased people of Atlas Flame, and Lucius' parents. Many has, and he even believes that Acnologia is in this kind of better heaven. As they encourage Natsu for all of this, and saying that he is kind. They're also saying that he may have a way now to defeat Wraith, because after all, he's a ghost now as well. And he will very likely forget everything that is happening here. But he has to return. So with that, he has to keep on living. And that creates the funny thing is that the soul actually creates a projection of his face and body, as he actually manages to punch as a wraith, and and the soul is and the soul of course did not remember what he experienced, but he then creates a projection of his soul, of his body, and saying that he feels like somebody taught him how to use thought projection magic. Of course, Happy cannot see all of this. All he can do is still cry and beg for Natsu to awaken until Natsu finally does awake. You may say what you want about Happy, but when Natsu always dies before him, Happy always breaks down in tears. Having lived his entire life together with Natsu, it makes sense. Natsu is basically his lifeline, so to speak. He has known, the oldest person he has ever known is Natsu. So to see his best friend die all the time will always mentally break him. But that's basically this chapter. It is a strange one about this better heaven, especially with words that I don't always know. But this may very well be that this is not the real Seraph, but it may very well also be a residual emotion of the true Seraph who still is connected to his brother. But this is what makes this satisfying though is that Natsu can finally hurt Wraith. So please just destroy him and return to your body. Despair cannot be allowed to win. That's basically this chapter. It is simply meant to be, well, warmth here. It may be a little bit strange, but and may have failed due to some inner worry. But other than that, this is a very nice situation and a nice chapter. So give me your thoughts if you have any.